Hey Booktube, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Danae, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I have been on Booktube since January, like the end of January, and I figured I am way past due for the Booktok Newbie Tag / Get to Know Me, All About Me video, whatever you want to call it. I kind of jumped on here and posted a few videos, but I hadn't taken the time to officially introduce myself yet. So I wanted to take some time today to sit down and record a video kind of more formally introducing myself. So I'm Danae. I'm actually coming here from the TikTok world. So I don't know if some of you who are subscribed to my channel probably follow me on TikTok already. And so I have established a community over there, love it there. But then I decided to make this channel after the TikTok ban. And so when all of that whole stuff was going down, I decided to make a YouTube because I needed a new place to talk about books. With the idea of TikTok going away, I didn't want my ability to talk about books to go away because I love it so much. It's made me so happy. And so I knew needed a new place. But now that I'm here too, I realize I think if I can really grow this channel and make something work here, I think YouTube will be the place for me because I like long form content. I love to talk and yap, okay, to you guys here. Maybe not in public necessarily, but YouTube, I love this long form because I don't necessarily feel rushed. I can get all of my thoughts out and I'm not staring at the clock. So on TikTok, I do a lot of book reviews, and all the time, I had to speed up my videos. So I would do at least a 1.5 speed to try to get it to the point where it was at least 3 minutes or less. And honestly, even 3 minutes is too long on TikTok because people give you a minute and a half and that's it. They sometimes don't even give you that. They scroll it on by. And so I would speed them up just to make them a little bit more palatable. But I like the concept of YouTube. I don't have to feel rushed. I don't have to do that. I have not sped up one video since I've done YouTube. And so I like that aspect. I like it here. And I want to try to grow and, get more subs and, really have a place in the community here on YouTube. And just, kind of continue to grow a bit and meet other people and talk about books. I do talk back, y'all, okay? I'm actually here. I want to talk about books. And so I welcome opinions and, thoughts and stuff. So, yeah, I guess I ended up answering the first question. The first question on the tag was, why did you start this channel? I wanted to start off also by just kind of telling you a little bit about myself before I got into the questions. But in the talking, I ended up answering the first question I see. But my name is Danae. I'm 38 and I am married. I have 3 children, ages 14, 6, and 3. Well, he'll actually be 4 in 2 weeks. So those are my kiddos' ages. And I am happy that I'm finally in a place where I can get back to me again and doing things that I love. So with my youngest 2, obviously I have a big age gap, okay? I have a huge age gap. Do not recommend. I have a huge age gap, which is cool, but it's my teenager, she's in a different stage of life, and so she needs different things, but I just love having her because I just love talking with her, and I love seeing her grow. And then my 2 little ones are pretty close in age, kind of back to back. So I was in the newborn toddler world, just for years. It's now I'm finally coming up for air. So I probably stopped reading for a couple years because I was just so freaking exhausted. If you guys are watching this and you're a mom and you have young kids, if you know, I was exhausted. I didn't have time to read because after they went to bed, I was going to bed too because I was that tired. Or I would just sit on the couch and doom scroll because I had no energy for anything else. I did not want to use brain cells. I didn't want to do anything but just sit and not be needed and just decompress after the day. But now they're getting a little bit older and I'm finally feeling I'm in a place where I can get back to me. If you've had a baby, I've had 3 kids at this point, and it usually takes me about 3 years before I'm starting to feel okay, I'm feeling like me again. I'm feeling like I can do this again. I'm feeling like back to, you know, my normal self again. And so that's the point I'm in, and I'm loving this stage because I'm able to like kind of put back into myself a little bit too. And I'm a huge proponent of moms and just women doing that, because it's so easy to get caught up and lost in being a wife and being someone's mother. And you know, you can lose yourself. It's like, okay, well, outside of being his wife, outside of being a mother, who am I? What do I like? What do I like to do for fun? Do I have hobbies? And so I feel like that self-discovery or rediscovery is extremely important. And that's kind of the stage where I'm in. Not necessarily discover, I would call it rediscovery. I am making intentional time to do the things that I love. And so for me right now, it's reading. I've always loved to read, and then like I said, I got out of it for a little bit. And 2024 though, I would say, has been like where it's been nonstop for me, like my best reading year. And it continues to blossom as I continue to be able to have more time for, you know, me. And so I'm just having a good time, and it's been so healthy for my mental health. And honestly, the whole content creation thing, that just like kind of came out of nowhere for me. I, on a whim, decided to film a book review on Booktok for the first time ever. It was This Could Be Us by Kenny Ryan. I had no equipment. I had nothing but my phone and myself and my thoughts. That's it. My daughter, my teenager, she actually filmed it for me, and she was complaining because it was a 4-minute long video, y'all. But I did it with just nothing but my phone and me. And, you know, that was in July 2024, and I'm still here, and, you know, things are happening for me in this space, and I'm just loving it, and I'm so happy. So that's me career-wise. So I am a nurse practitioner by day and reader by night. I say reader by night, but really it's not reader by night, because let's be honest, I read anytime I get free time, whether it's a lunch break, any downtime I get, I'm probably going to try and read. But yeah, I'm a nurse practitioner. I've been that for 11 years now, y'all. And it makes me feel really aged, but in a blessed way, because I can't believe that I've been a nurse practitioner for 11 years, and I've been in the nursing space. I graduated from O State in 2009 with my nursing degree, so I've been nursing since 2009, and I'm like, I'm not a new nurse anymore. I'm not what you would call a newbie. I'm getting into like more seasoned territory, and it's just like, wow, I still can't even believe it when I like say it out loud to myself. But I work in the telehealth space, so it's been a blessing to be able to work remotely, just with everything I have going on personally, health-wise, having children, young children. And so it's just been a godsend that I've been able to do what I love and do it in a way that has been just really great for quality of life and for work-life balance. So that's that career-wise. And so I think I've given you a little bit about me. Now there's specific questions. The first one I think I already answered, as far as why did I start this channel. The second one, what can you bring to YouTube? I mean, I'm in the bookish space, which so many other people are here talking about books, right? I'm just adding to the conversation, okay? Hopefully adding some books that you haven't read yet. I think that I do read diversely. Not necessarily diverse in genre, but diverse in authors. So you will see a lot of BIPOC authors on my page, because I do have a vested interest in amplifying and supporting BIPOC authors, and just talking about them more in a space where they're marginal, you know, for marginalized people in general, but in a space where they're not promoted and talked about as much as, you know, maybe their white counterparts. So I definitely have a vested interest in doing that. So you will see me reading a lot of BIPOC authors, but I also read everybody, you know, as long as you're not problematic and, you know, you haven't had like, you know, problematic lines in your books, I'm going to read it if it looks good to me, sounds good to me, and you know, maybe even if the cover draws me, because honestly sometimes I just buy books on vibes. But yeah, so that's what you'll get from me. Not necessarily diversity in genres, but diversity in authors. A lot of indie author recommendations as well, because I do love to support indie authors, and some of my favorite authors are indie. A.E. Valdez is one that I talk about a lot, and she's an indie author, and I just love her writing so much. And you'll also see book hauls and unboxings on my page. I love to buy books. I love to shop. I'm on Amazon all the time. I feel like I'm always buying something. And also, I think that I'm in a space now where I'm like influencing, so I am an influencer for a couple publishers now. And so you might be seeing unboxing from publishers and new books and stuff that have been sent to me. And so yeah, you'll definitely see unboxings, book hauls here. I know me personally, I love watching a good book haul. I will always stop to watch a book haul. Number one, I'm nosy, and then number two, I get like new book ideas from watching book hauls, and it's just something about me. Even if it's not my books, I love watching other people get new books. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I do. And so I do book hauls myself as well. I know there's been like some discourse on, social media about, the whole overconsumption conversation. I'm here to tell y'all, this is not a minimalist account, okay? So you will be seeing those things because that's what I enjoy doing. I don't really care about the overconsumption conversation because I don't really care what other people choose to spend their money on. If you're not harming anyone, I just don't care. I mean, I feel like we all work for our things, and it's your money that you worked to get. I feel like if it's something, if I want it and I got it, I'm gonna get it, and I don't need to feel shamed or worry about, you thinking that I'm over consuming. I don't need to worry about anyone's thoughts about, what someone's library looks like and having too much. Who cares? I don't. If that makes you happy, sure. I don't care if I have 3 editions of the same book. They're all different books to me. And I think that we need to realize that, book shopping also is a hobby for people. And people see having books in their home and their personal libraries is book collecting. I feel like people are starting to get a lot of flack for having a bunch of books. You're not obligated to unhaul your books. You're not obligated to donate if you choose to, or there's books that you don't want. You're certainly welcome to do that. But I know me personally, I like having my own home library. I like the concept of having my own personal books, my own personal stash. Even if I don't have the time to read them all, even if I don't get to them all, you know what? I have sisters, I have people that, come to me like, hey, can I borrow this book? Now, I don't loan my books out to everybody, but, if my sister asks, I'll let her borrow a book or something. But, let people buy what they want with their own money. People collect makeup. Some people have a ton of makeup. Some people have a perfume collection. My husband collects baseball cards. People collect model cars, Legos. And, who cares? They're buying it. It's their money. They like it. And that's what they choose to spend their money on. And for me, that's what books at this point is what I choose to spend my money on. Do I have a large TBR that I have not read yet? Absolutely. But does that mean that, I'm not going to buy books? No. Now, I am currently on a book buying ban that I'm doing with my 2 friends. I did recently some big hauls, and so I'm just kind of like taking a break. I only do hauls when it's a sale. So a huge haul, like if you see me with 10 plus books, I guarantee you I shopped on a sale, because even though I'm a shopper, I would let you know I am a bargain shopper, and I am always looking to save my coin in any way that I can. I do have 3 kids, so while I might shop, I am mindful. I like to shop on sale, but book hauls of that many books is always going to be on sale. But yeah, currently I'm on a book buying ban because, I do have a large TBR, and we're doing this thing where we cannot buy a new book until we've read 15 books off our physical TBR. And so I thought it was great that I'm doing that with my friends because we can keep each other accountable. And then if you backslide, no judgment, but we're trying to keep each other accountable as far as like really sticking to it. I love sticking to challenges and having challenges. It's just a test of my discipline. And so that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, this is what you'll see on this page. So if that bothers you, sorry, maybe we don't mesh, but that's what part of what you'll be seeing here. Let's see, what else is the next question. I wrote my questions down because I'm filming this on my phone. I do love reading. Okay, that's a good one. I love reading because I love escaping into new worlds and reading about other people. I do learn from reading. So there's also the discourse of intellectual versus non-intellectual debate, fiction versus nonfiction. At this stage in my life, I'm reading fiction. I went through my whole nonfiction self-help phase, and that was like mid-20s through like maybe early to mid-30s, trying to be a better person, trying to be a better woman, trying to, help myself. And I'm in a phase where I'm good with me. I'm good with who Danae is, and maybe I'll pick up another self-help book if it's something specific that I want to learn. At this point, I'm in my fictional stage, and I read a lot of romance, and so for me, the allure of romance is being able to watch people fall in love over and over again. I am a hopeless romantic. I love love. I love watching people fall in love. I'm like literally the girl who's watching Lifetime in high school, in college. Like my friend, we roomed together as well. She used to always talk about me because I was always like in the room in my big red fluffy robe watching a Lifetime movie. And Kyra, if you're watching this, I still have that big robe. But I was always doing that, and so romance books allows me to have that feeling again too. Like I also watch Hallmark movies, cheesy Hallmark movies, especially the Christmas ones. Yes, I'm watching those as well. So that's what reading does for me. It's a hobby, and it gives me something constructive to do also outside of like doom scrolling. Or watching a bunch of TV, which is fine if you choose to. I haven't been watching much because I don't have time to watch TV and read a lot at the level that I do. So but there's some shows that I do want to catch up on, like Harlem. I have not watched the third season of Harlem yet, and at some point I need to like maybe take a little like slow down on reading so that I can catch up on that season. But that's what I love about it. What book series got me into reading? So I've been reading all my life. I've always loved to read. Earliest reading memories I can remember is being in like maybe elementary, 4th grade, 5th grade. I absolutely loved the Dear America books. They were it's historical fiction, and they were like diaries, like reading these diaries of different like people during different periods of history. And they had like the little pages that were like uneven and rough, so it felt like a real diary. And I specifically also loved the Royal Diaries of that like Dear America set. Matter of fact, I need to find that set and just buy it just to have it. At one point, I thought I had a set to get. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. I sent the girl a message and she never responded, and then it said sold. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if maybe she was in process of a sale or not, but she never responded to me. But I thought I had a set, so I'm on a hunt to find those again. I would like to find them, on sale, so I'm gonna try to look for them secondhand. But I absolutely love that series, and that's what really started my love for reading. And also, this is going to age me, but the American Girl dolls, I'm talking the original American Girl dolls, like Addie, Samantha, Kirsten. So back in the day when they had those dolls, they also had like books of their lives as well. And so historical fiction, of course. And so I read all of those books. And so that really started my love for reading. I also, Mildred D. Taylor, like Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, all of Mildred D. Taylor books, like that series. I think Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry was part of a series. I absolutely love that. I think that might have been 8th grade-ish or so. And then when I got to like high school, it was like Fly Girl by Omar Tyree, anything, Carl Weber, Coldest Winter Ever. And so Zane, don't ask me why I was reading that stuff at 14, 15, but I was. So yeah, that's what started my love for reading and the books that I started off with. Favorite genre. So I kind of went over this a little bit, but romance, historical fiction, and those are my favorite genres. What genres do I read? Will be romance, historical fiction, and recently I've been getting into romantasy, and I am having so much fun. I was the girl, I don't read fantasy, I only read romance. Y'all, stop boxing yourself in, because that was me. I boxed myself into one genre, and then I decided to try fantasy. So my first fantasy was no other than Fourth Wing, and then I read the rest of the Empyrean series. Absolutely loved it. And then I moved on to, I think, One Dark Window, and then the Legendborn cycle. And I am having such a good time reading fantasy. And I keep wondering, like, what took me so long to get here? Like, why was I, like, canceling it out? I guess I just thought I wouldn't like it. And I'm having such a good time. And so don't box yourself in. Stop boxing yourself in. Start reading things. You don't know if you're going to like it until you read it. Now, if you read 3 copies of a book from a genre and you're like, yeah, I didn't like none of them, okay, then maybe that's not for you. But at least try, because y'all, I'm having a time. So those are the genres that I'm reading. Right now, I'm really in my romantasy bag, and I've surprisingly been reading more romantasy than romance, which if any of you watching this know me, you know that's a big change for me. Like, I've made a complete flip. But yeah, that's just the era and what I'm into right now. Now, one thing I think I'll never read is horror. I will not read a horror book. I don't like horror. I don't like scary movies. I don't like to be scared. I don't like spooky. I don't like anything creepy. I don't like skeletons. I don't like none of that stuff. So that's one genre I can honestly say, confidently say, I will never read. And that's just that. I don't really read thrillers, but you know, I guess I never say never. I mean, it's just really not what I plan to read or what I'm drawn to. But the three genres I mentioned, yeah. Favorite book. So favorite romance book would have to be hands down 7 Days in June. Absolutely love that book. It is such a beautiful, emotional, second chance romance by Tia Williams. That book solidified Tia Williams' spot as my author. I will read anything that Tia writes. I have read anything that she writes, and I've loved them all. And so at this point, anything she comes out with, I'm going to read it. I don't even need to see what it's about. I'm reading it. Also, This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan is a favorite. And recently, in 2024, I read Archer's Voice, which I absolutely love. That is such an emotional, beautiful love story. I'm calling it a love story. So beautiful, and I will always recommend that too. I think is honestly slept on and not talked about enough. But that one, and then Catch the Sun, which I think is like a YA romance. It is very emotional read. It is kind of hard. Definitely need to check your triggers with that one. It made me cry. It took me through every single emotion, but that book lives rent-free in my head. I will not forget that book. I have not forgotten that book since I read it. And I mean, it took me through every single emotion, sadness, frustration, anger, but like the pure love between the two main characters and the ending and the way things tied up. Oh my gosh, that was my favorite read of 2024. My top number one read of 2024. If you have not read Catch the Sun, highly recommend it. Also recommend the other ones I mentioned, but as well, that one just really like took me by surprise. Favorite historical fiction, House of Eve, hands down. And Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. It is a thick one. It is a thick one, y'all. But it does not feel like 800 pages because she manages to keep the story flowing and everything just goes together so well. It doesn't feel clunky. It didn't feel disjointed. You basically watch the main character from a young girl all the way up to like her graduate studies. So we watched her literally kind of grow up and you know, come of age and become a young woman. And so that was such a great book. House of Eve, 5-star read. Also, historical romance. I forgot to mention this in the last question, but romance plus historical fiction. I've been loving historical romance. I recently read Tropical Rebel Gets the Duke by Adriana Herrera. Absolutely loved it. 5-star read. If you have not read that, if you like historical fiction, definitely recommend reading that one. That was my latest historical romance read, I think. Yeah, that was my latest historical romance read, and I absolutely loved it. Next question on here. So we went through that one of the favorite format to read in. If you would have asked me this question 3 months ago, I would have said physical books, hands down. Physical book. I'm a physical book girly, but I've recently been reading every single format. I've been reading physical books. I read ebooks, and now I've been doing audiobooks. I recently got a Kindle in January for my birthday. And I am so glad I did. I don't know what took me so long. I was just anti-Kindle because I just thought I was a physical book girly. Y'all, I talk myself about so many stuff. But I am loving my Kindle. It's so convenient. And at this point, I don't see myself ever not... I said that wrong. I don't see myself not having an e-reader ever again, whether it's Kindle or iPad. I will always have an e-reader at this point. That's like a staple in my reading, daily reading journey, and in my reading life at this point. And honestly, as a mom, That is a way that allows me to be able to read so many books by reading all methods, because I might have a book that I'm reading physically, but I'll also look for it on the Kindle because I have Kindle Unlimited. And then that way I keep the book at home and I just take the Kindle in and out of the house. Then my audiobook. So if I'm in a place where I cannot physically read, like when I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner, listening to the book on audiobook. When I'm taking my kids to school in the car line, listening to audiobook. Now, obviously, you gotta have caution with this. I probably wouldn't listen to like, romance, a spicy romance while I'm taking my kids to school, right? On an audiobook. But if it's not, not spicy, or I know the spicy parts aren't coming up or anything inappropriate is coming up, yeah, I'm listening to audiobooks in the car. They be like, Mommy, we gotta listen to a book talk again. They call it book talk. They call everything book talk because they see me making videos. But yeah, audiobooks in the car. Anytime where I want to read and I can't, I'll pop the audiobook on. I have the Kindle, and so that's been such a lifesaver for me in helping me read as many books as I do per month, because I utilize all forms to be able to maximize my reading time. Reading goals. So my goal for this year, I set it low at 50. Last year I read 85 books, but I wanted to keep my goal low. I said it at 60. I wanted to keep my goal low because I would rather shoot low and aim high versus aiming too high and then the end of the year comes and I'm trying to scrambling to, find a bunch of novellas to try to make that reading goal. For me, I still want reading to be fun and not feel like a chore. I'm not going to overextend and stress myself out about some arbitrary goal that I created myself. I don't like to set myself up for failure, so I made a very attainable reading goal. And then when I go over it, great. But if, something happens and things are slowing down for me, I know that I can make 50 books. And I'm not going to stress myself out about a numerical reading goal. So that's that. I think that I've answered. Oh, where do you read? That's a question. Where do you read? I'm either in this spot here. This is my favorite spot on the couch. So I have one of those huge modular sectionals. I needed a couch that was big enough to fit my family of 5. But this is my one favorite spot on the couch. So you will always catch me in this one little spot. And so everyone knows this mommy spot. I claim this spot. But I'm either reading here or in my bedroom. At night, sometimes after I put the kids to bed, I'll just kind of read in my bedroom just to kind of just have some time to myself and have some me time and some space. But I think I've answered all of the questions. I saw a bunch of different questions, and so I kind of just did a mesh of my own things. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for listening to this video, watching this video. If it feels like we vibe, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, please. I do talk back in the comments. So, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.